Let's do this. I have with me today somebody that I consider remarkable. I consider an amazing human being, and I consider a friend. Let's get the show started with Mr. Randy Antonio.
Happy Aloha Friday from Maui. I wish I was at the beach right now, which I normally am, by the way. I do my morning swims before I go to work. Today's not my swimming day, but I'm showing you the background of one of the oceanfront condos on the beach, right?
Absolutely. And that's why we all love Hawaii, because a lot of us have been there. And I know even friends have got engaged there, Randy. So just for myself, just an understanding, I know the luxury world over here in California on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Every market's different, right, Randy?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
How different? You've been here because I've had lunch with you at the Fig and Olive in Newport Beach, which is
Yes.
$25 hamburgers for Pete's sake. You've been to my realm and you understand a lot of the luxury agents here. What's the big difference, Randy?
Well, I'm going to say that lifestyle is different, of course, on an island. And I think what appeals to most people of investing in Hawaii or having a second home is the lifestyle and the environment. I mean, nature here is absolutely beautiful. The weather is pretty consistent throughout the year, which makes it very appealing to people who come from cold regions. And so outside of being a seasonal market, we also have people that, outside of just coming here during the winter, they come year round. So you can own a vacation rental property here and come any time of the year and pretty much get the sun.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I actually went there in your off season and the weather was just amazing. I think it rained a little bit, like during the day. It rained quite a few times during the day, but I was blown away, Randy, because coming from my tropical area of Southern Africa, and even the Mauritius and the Madagascar and those areas, we do have almost in a sense the same climate. It's very, very similar.
Yes, yes. And I was born and raised in Southern California myself.
And
so I'm from San Diego and Los Angeles. So I lived in Southern California for almost 30 years. So to come to a place like this obviously was truly a dream come true, because I wanted to, when I was looking for a place to relocate, I wanted warm and I wanted coastal. And I started visiting the islands, on several trips. And then I made the decision, well, let me at least try and see if I could live there, because coming from Los Angeles to an island is like a 180-degree turnaround. So, it took me a few years to immerse myself in this kind of lifestyle, to really slow it down and to be away from freeways and buildings. It's a different change to your mindset.
It is because, and forgive me, I'm that's what I'm asking you. I've heard of kind of that island fever, that almost that you kind of sometimes feel isolated from the rest of the world.
That's a good and a bad thing, right? Because especially in today's times, I mean, right now with all the pandemic and then the riots, and I look at the news and I see what's happening in the big cities, and I lived in cities, so I can totally relate to the safety factor. One of the benefits of being on an island is, although you feel insulated from what's happening on the rest of the world, you still are in touch. Obviously, I have family living on the mainland. But yes, island fever is something people talk about. And I think island fever exists in your head, because if you're the type of person that likes to travel or just likes to do things and go on drives, I mean, you can't do that here, obviously. If you want to go on a long drive, you can actually drive the island, but it's not like you're going on a freeway to another state.
Right.
You're just touring the island. I mean, the beautiful thing about Maui is at least we have mountains, we have jungles, we have, kind of urban areas. So it's a little bit of everything all contained on a 750 square mile island.
And you're surrounded by the most gorgeous beaches in the world and the most gorgeous coral reefs and fish.
Yes.
I've snorkeled there. I mean, even the rock pools, Randy, I believe I was in the rock pool for hours. I didn't get out.
Yes, it's all very mesmerizing.
Yeah.
So for me, because I'm from a city, I grew up in California, so I was used to going on long drives on the weekend and doing weekend things, going to the desert, going to the mountains. So if I need city fix, I'll fly to Honolulu. You know, I'll get on a plane. Takes me 30 minutes. If I want to go to the mainland, of course, that's the closest mainland area I can go to. It takes about, 5-hour flight. So you get used to, getting on a plane
Right. So you
to
kind of
visit
get custom, yeah.
yeah. And it's like a road trip to me. I just think of it as a long road trip. I just jump on a plane.
But you actually travel quite often. I've seen you at many events, many conferences, many seminars, Randy. I mean, even though you're in Maui, which trust me, I think a lot of us would actually die to be there, especially Maui, because I've been to Honolulu, which is amazing. It's a city.
Yeah.
Great, amazing hotels, amazing people, amazing fine dining. It's my hobby, Randy's fine dining. So I do get it. It's just interesting to me, the mindset, because you're in luxury, so you almost have to attract that kind of clientele, because here in Newport Beach, or like especially beach cities, we have a lot of New Yorkers, East Coasters, Canadians, people from the rest of the world, Europeans, minor Asia, all that, even parts of Africa. What do you see as an investment in like especially Maui? What kind of clientele is that, right? And how do you get a hold of them?
Working in a resort market. So I would say anybody who buys on Maui outside of the local market. So 50% of my market is local residents. All right. And I've established that over the 20 years that I've been doing real estate here. The other 50%, of course, is coming from investors, second home buyers, resort buyers, luxury buyers. And, they definitely are mostly coming from California. So our biggest out-of-state buyers, my feeder market is California. And then anywhere along the coast going up to Vancouver, Canada is our feeder market. So any people coming from the metropolitan areas of San Diego, Los Angeles, Orange County, San Francisco, all the way to Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, that's our feeder market. So I am a very big networker, as you know. I'm up and about. I get out in the world because, I have to do face-to-face connections.
It's a combat sport. Yeah, it's a combat sport. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one thing to talk on the Zoom but to be face-to-face present with somebody is how I love to do business. So I always say I'll go the extra 3,000 miles to earn your business.
Oh, wow, Randy. So Randy, you almost have the best of both worlds. 50% is your local market and 50% is out of towners. I mean, that's pretty good. You got it actually almost made in a sense, because we know Americans love to vacation, and they buy timeshare, they buy villas, they buy investment properties, they buy Airbnb. I mean, I know so many of my associates and friends and family have rentals that are, if they're not rentals, they're Airbnb, and even investors that I do with here in Orange County. When they're not here visiting from Australia or Europe, it's Airbnb or long-term rentals, 6 months to a year.
Correct.
So Rain, I have a question for you. How do you value unique homes? Because being in your market, it's about the comps and so forth. But sometimes, buyers, especially in the luxury division, they're far in between. They're very selective.
Yes.
Can you walk into that process, Randy?
Valuating any home in general always takes a lot of effort and a lot of analysis, correct?
Yes.
And in Maui, we have some very unique luxury properties. It's not cookie cutter type properties unless they're like in gated communities. So we do have a lot of luxury gated communities in the resort markets of, let's say, Wailea, Kapalua, Ka'anapali. Those are like our luxury gated community neighborhoods.
Okay.
Those homes tend to be a little bit, I wouldn't say cookie cutter, because most of them are custom homes. However, that being said, when you're in a gated community, you do set a standard as far as dollar per square foot, correct?
Also by the CC&Rs, right? They have kind of standards.
Yes. Okay, so it has to look like a certain design. It has to, the landscaping all has to be, consistent.
Right, Randy.
So when it comes to those type of homes, it's not that difficult to price them. But when you get to beachfront, oceanfront, that's where the challenge comes in, because we will always have a limited amount of beachfront, oceanfront properties, and and the value of oceanfront land, and there's a distinction between oceanfront versus beachfront as well.
Yes,
You know,
I'm going to go into that down because a friend of mine, him and his buddy bought a piece of land with ocean view, Randy.
yeah,
No beach there. It was rocks. No beach.
correct.
It was a small lot. I say about maybe, I forget, let's say about several thousand square foot, $2 million.
For the land.
Just for the
Yeah.
land, just for the
Yeah.
dirt, the dirt.
Yeah, correct.
Mm.
So that's not uncommon, and I'm sure it's the same in Southern California. Like there's one area here in Maui called Ke'awakapu Beach, which is right next to Wailea, which is the exclusive luxury market of where the
Nice.
Four Seasons is and the Waldorf Hotel is. You know, there's a beachfront location there. There's only maybe about 20, 30 homes. And you could buy a tear down, and originally those were like old Hawaii cottages,
Yes.
but then that was back in the 50s and 60s, and over time people have taken down the cottages and built these mega mansions. So like for example a cottage on a maybe about 20,000 square foot of land, so it's a good sized piece of land.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
On about 20,000 square foot of land, old tear down, built in the 50s cottage is about 8 million right now, Whereas the
That's
finished
beautiful
home,
money. I love that sound. Say it again, Randy. Just say it again.
8 million for a tear down. But it's actually, it's this beach in this picture. So you see this beach right here where, where I'm at.
Yes.
That stretch of beach there has, this is actually the south end of that beach, and there's a condo complex. But if you go north up this beach, it's probably like a half a mile walk. Beautiful stretch of white sand, island views. And so there's about, like I said, there's maybe on the market, maybe 2 homes on that stretch of beach. One's a tear down, the other one, is like 20 million. So land is very valuable. And again, beachfront versus oceanfront, big difference in the price.
For sure. Another question, Randy, is how do you reach the more limited audience that can afford that house? How are you on kind of, you're landlocked, right? Or like ocean locked. How do you reach an audience in California, in Canada, that are buying in Maui, especially with these properties and those kind of price points?
Yeah, so if I'm dealing with luxury buyers, whether I'm on the buyer or the seller side, let's just take, for example, if you're a listing agent for a luxury property here, you do have to really utilize your network of top brokers that specialize in that market.
Okay.
And you also have to do special, unique marketing pieces, of course. You definitely have to, I hired someone to join my team who I call the director of lead generation. And his job basically is to consult us on social media, social media platforms that are useful. I don't, I've had to really struggle through social media, although I pretty much use only Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
But now I'm building the YouTube and building the LinkedIn audience, et cetera. Because he says this is where, you really got to start,
Well done, Randy.
Yeah, moving your
he's right.
efforts.
He's right, by the way. I've just come to terms, like literally, I got my license back in 2012. I've just come to terms that YouTube is the launch pad. Everything else spawns off of there. But you're right. These are great vehicles, but social media is a great platform for marketing and branding yourself. But really, it has to come down to one place. For you, for instance, your market's Maui. My market's Orange County. So, but from there, can really spawn for the rest of the world because of social media. So well done, man. That's great. And that he has one specific role.
Yes. Because, when you're looking at your business, there's only so much you're good at. And that's when you leverage everything else out.
Yeah, well done.
So looking, and then also joining major professional organizations such as ARIA Luxury Global.
Nice, right?
The Asian Real Estate Association of America has a huge luxury global summit once a year. So I built a really good relationships with those agents, and Keller Williams Luxury Division. I definitely am part of that, and we have mastermind groups just within that. So it's all about the relationships and the people that are going to get you what you need. So I highly leverage those relationships over the long years that I've been in business, and constantly sending out notices about my listings, or that's really important.
Yeah, you're also, Randy, you're not easily forgettable. So it's very interesting. You've got some flair or some flavor about you that you're not easily forgettable, because I knew of you before I met you. Then once I met you, I was so excited because I've known of you for so long. But now, it's always nice to meet somebody face to face.
Absolutely. And thank you so much to say that. It's very nice of you.
Thank you, Randy. Randy, our market, so I'm talking 6 months ago. Right now, it's very kind of, it's stable, but it's we're just opening up right now. But say 6 months ago, like a regular single family home in Orange County, we're on the market for give or take 30 days or plus, depending on, of course, how you priced it and how you marketed it and how you took it to market, of course. And then the high-end homes, the $1 million plus or even higher than that, 100 days plus, sometimes a year to 2 years. That's just part of the game, because
that's not uncommon.
Yeah, they're in no rush. They're not emotionally driven, they're logically driven. And sometimes, they go through, I mean, I've had acquaintances that I've liked very much. I've listed their homes, but I haven't been able to sell it. A year later, they list with somebody else, and guess what? It sells with that other agent.
Yeah.
How does your market look when it comes to luxury real estate and time frame on the market and so forth, Randy?
So, I would say the luxury market, it represents a small percentage, maybe less than 5% of the total inventory.
Okay.
But here's the thing, because our market has really, just like our market is really predicated on what happens in the Southern California and Northern California market, because they are such a big feeder market for us. So what happens usually in California will happen in Hawaii, and it takes about 12 months for that to happen over here, generally speaking.
Interesting.
Okay?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So, but when it comes to the luxury market, there are, our luxury market right now is actually we have less inventory, which I think, is all over the whole state. Is pretty much, our inventory has dropped still. Yeah. It's still low. Prices are still over last year on all the islands, as far as I know. And in Maui, but what we're seeing in the luxury market is that, the days on market is always at least 5 months to a year. 6 months to a year is not uncommon.
Yeah.
And and they're not pricing urgent, because a lot of these luxury homes are second, third, fourth homes. So they'll sell it when they're ready, and it's not an urgent sell for them.
Exactly, it's not owner occupied anyway, so they can they get their price.
Yeah. So they'll sit and wait, and same with the luxury buyers that buy here. They are buying because they can, and not because they have to. And when you have a buyer has that type of ability to purchase when they're ready, negotiations takes a little more effort.
Absolutely, Randy. Absolutely. So, Randy, thank you so much for your time.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
It's super special. I want to end this episode off like this, Randy. I know a lot of agents that have asked me, they want to get into luxury real estate. How do they get into? To me, it's kind of like a no-brainer because I'm accustomed to it. So forgive me for saying that. I'm just trying to be sincere, where it's hard for me to, when I look at them, I'm like, what do you mean get into luxury? You are luxury. To me, it's just kind of, it is what you are. I don't understand that they need to be elevated or endorsed. But anyway, when someone's getting into luxury, how would they get into luxury in Maui, if they're in Maui, an agent there, Randy? And give us some guidance into that, maybe for a rookie agent looking to get into luxury, and what that looks like in your market, Randy.
Yeah, for me, I think it's really important to get the education first, because, once you are educated and you understand the inventory and the statistics and the data, that's where you become really good at anything.
Okay.
Before you jump into something, it's like, is it, number one, is it a feasible market for me to be involved in? Because it's not all, my market is not all luxury. I mean, it's a percentage of my market as well. But, there's the bread and butter business. I chose to get involved in luxury because Hawaii is very global in the sense that we do attract also international audience. So I think getting education, training, and, the Institute of Luxury Marketing has a great course for people that want to get involved in luxury. I highly recommend that course. And then, of course, if there's a luxury division within your company, or if there isn't, then create one and start, immerse yourself in looking at the Raw Report and Architectural Digest and getting familiar with that market. Because it's true what they say, you don't have to own the $1 million mega mansion home in order to sell luxury. but you do have to have an understanding of that buyer and the affluent market. So yeah, it's all about education and having the confidence to know that you can work with this type of segment of the real estate that is very lucrative.
Or at least follow the leader. So when I got into the industry, I mean, this is 2012, Randy, I knew nothing. But I knew that if I could follow a master, you know, I'm that shepherd, I'm the sheep, I guess. I could follow the master, and that would really kind of get me there faster than me trying to do it myself. At the time, I thought I could do it myself. I really couldn't, Randy. There is a system, there is a formula, there's an equation to success.
Correct.
But the mind, sometimes the ego thinks it's better than what it is, but it really isn't. And you cannot sell what you don't know.
Yes, it's a challenge. You'll run into a lot of obstacles, but sometimes you land into it too, like what I did.
Oh, nice, Randy.
It was nice to land into it because I immediately met people because you just by doing a simple open house you meet people, and then lo and behold they're your first luxury client, and then from there it goes on. So yeah, you're right. You want to find a mentor. So it's good to know someone that you follow and that you look up to that can help you, and maybe co-list with them, or if you get a potential listing, then bring them on,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm all about that, sure.
Hey guys, this is Randy Antonio. He's actually you're a very incredible, decent human being, Randy.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I'm really not trying to, I'm really just being sincere, because I know you, and I've had lunch with you, and I've heard you, and I've had the opportunity to be in your presence. What I like about Randy, he's approachable. So Randy, is it okay if they want to reach out to you? Can I put some of your contact details, your website in the description box below?
Absolutely, randyantonio.com.
Oh, there you go. And then I'll put Randy's social media, his Facebook, his Instagram. And then guys, you can't come to me for luxury in Hawaii. That's just, I can't help you there. What I'd do is I'd refer you to Randy. That's what I would do, because that's doing my due diligence, and that's just out of respect, because I'm doing the right thing for my client, Randy. Because at the end of it, it's their dream, making their dream reality, not really mine. I get a nice paycheck. I get endorsed handsomely for it, for doing the right thing.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Kevin, thank you so much. I mean, I feel like it's nice to reconnect with friends, and we are definitely going to have an amazing meal here when you come to Maui.
Be careful, Randy. I've got a wife and 5 kids.
Yeah, we'll do either Mama's Fish House on the beach, which is an amazing place.
Oh, Ray, I really love you, because when you have 5 boys, trust me, that's when I go out, I've got a tribe. I don't have just me and my wife, Randy. And each young man has his own unique flavor and taste. I'm taking you up on that, Randy.
Absolutely. It's such an honor to be on your podcast or your YouTube channel, and I'm going to create my YouTube channel. You're going to be a guest on mine. How's that?
Yes, absolutely. What a privilege. Thank you, Randy. Hey, have a splendid weekend, my dear friend. Yes. And may you be blessed indeed and abundantly. And may the floodgates open up and the avalanche of just success all over you, buddy.
It already is.
Oh, I love that.
So stay safe, stay healthy out there, and sending you warm aloha from the islands.
Thank you, Randy. Cheers, buddy.
Aloha.
Thank you.